Welcome to City TV Sports. I'm Jonathan Monk with Bennett Oliver. We've got Fred Perry on the field, a Douglas County 4-3 team tonight. The Tigers take on the South Paulding Spartans. They're 3-3, so they're evenly matched teams for tonight's contest.
Well, tonight's senior night here at Tiger Stadium. Douglas County has 23 seniors on their team, and we've talked about it all year, Monk. You know, the senior leadership has really got better as the year's gone on, and it's really carrying this team. Last weekend at Lithia Springs, so they were able to to take the county championship, and tonight with a victory over South Paulding, they'll be able to take the region championship, which is a really big deal with home field.
This is a crucial game in that, you know, when they split the region north and south, and we'll explain this throughout the broadcast, why it's important tonight for that game. Look for the front line, those big meters up front, I call them, man. Look for the offensive line to be the key tonight for the Douglas County Tigers to get Penniman out of the hole and off tackle and through to the scoring positions that they need to be in tonight against this tough team.
Beautiful weather here at Tiger Stadium tonight. Certainly fall is in the air, so we look forward to a great game.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Douglas County High School Tigers!
Welcome everyone to Tiger Stadium for our fourth broadcast of City TV. I'm Bennett Oliver along with Jonathan Monk.
We've got a team that's won every time we've been here.
Undefeated.
Undefeated at home. Did I jinx it for the... I hope not.
Well, actually, they were undefeated on the road too. They won at Lithia Springs on the road last week. So all three games we broadcast, they've won. So they may keep us around.
I think so. South Paulding is a very, very difficult team. We're going to key in on number 10, the quarterback. He's 6'5", and he really has a great range of view of the entire field. He's got some very speedy wide receivers, so look for Tony Daniel to throw a lot against the DC Tigers defense.
Excellent quarterback in Tony Randall. He's already got a couple of commitments, one from the University of Buffalo, which is a Division I school, so certainly he has the talent.
Absolutely. Brandon Penniman is the key, and the running attack is the key for the Douglas County Tigers, as it has been since game one, and he's healthy.
He is healthy. Had 190 yards last week, which I didn't realize that he had another 190-yard game. I never thought he would have that many, but, you know, I guess when you touch it 35 times, and he broke a couple of them for 30 and 35 yards, that really add up.
Just about ready for the kickoff.
Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry. Just about ready for the kickoff now.
Yep. This is senior night here at Douglas County High School, so it's a packed house, a beautiful night, and we anticipate a good game.
Shea Seeley's all the way back. It's going to go and a fair catch on the opening kickoff to number 8, Carlton Hadley. Yeah, we're going to look at Tony Daniel on the offense for the Spartans, and as far as the Tigers are concerned, again with their running game, but they did the I formation pretty well and utilized it pretty well last game out.
Oh yeah, last week we saw Douglas County go to a wishbone, which was a new formation, and I think it really confused Lithia Springs, but you know their game plan is just to wear the team down, run it up the middle, get Brandon Penniman in the game plan, and I believe they'll stick with that.
And there he is right behind Barker over to the left side and picks up about one and a half.
Yeah, a couple of yards.
His mom's excited tonight. We met Cassandra just before the game, and she was like, "Can I get a copy of City TV?
Yeah.
Can I get a copy of the sports broadcast?"
Kind of stuck her head in the window of the press box and said she appreciated us broadcasting the games every week. So good to see her son on TV. Looks like Devin Randall under center once again. Looks like he handed off that time to number 32. That's going to be Joseph Barker, the fullback, and he got maybe 1 or 2 tough yards.
It's usually Barker the lead blocker for Penniman in a situation like that, but every once in a while you'll see Devin hand off to Barker just to mix it up a little bit.
We saw Devin Randall last week against Lithia Springs get hurt in the last series of the game. We were watching him before the game to see if he was kind of limping, but it looks like he's getting along pretty good.
He looks just fine now. I mean, coming from the sideline and running in there in about a second and a half, I think he's okay. Shea Seeley wide to the left. Also number 18, Brandon Penniman. Was it? Check it, make it number 88.
I think he got the first down.
Shea picked up the first down on that. Quick pass out to the left, on target. And Devin Randall with a lot of confidence this first series of play. And that's been the problem with the Douglas County Tigers as they've been a second-half team throughout the last 7 games.
Yep, some penalties hurt them early in the game, some misformations, some illegal procedure. Penalties have hurt them, but talked to a coach this week, and he said they were going to try to get the ball in Shea Seeley's hands a little bit more this week. He's definitely a playmaker. We've been impressed with him all year long, and so we saw there them going to a little screen pass, and Shea picked up the first down.
He's got hands, he's got speed, and he certainly has determination and passion for the game.
We saw on the field, he's not a big kid, probably 5'8", 5'9", but boy, I tell you what.
I was surprised. He looked a lot shorter than I expected on the field.
He uses every bit of it, that's for sure. Like Brandon Penniman hitting the hole.
And he's going to break the hole.
Oh, and great run.
Nice stiff arm, too, Bennett.
Yep. Picked up about 13 yards. That's going to be another Douglas County first down.
Well, and doesn't that show the power of Brendan Penniman as he follows his blockers, follows them very patiently, and then breaks when he finds that opening.
And he really has some speed once he gets to the open field.
Now, I noticed up front that South Paulding is very big, but when you go to their defensive backs, you go to the linebackers, even the linebackers are not very big.
Right.
Very speedy, but not as big as they could be.
Another pass to Shea Seeley. Little screen pass. He's got it. Eludes a couple of defenders and picks up about 6 yards. So early in the first quarter here, we can see a trend. They're going to try to get the ball to Shea Seeley, stretch the defense a little bit, open up that up-the-middle running game for Brandon Penniman.
And it's smart play, too. And I don't know if Coach had a chance to see some tape of South Paulding and the Spartans, and maybe he found that was their weakness. It certainly is working here in the first couple of series of the game.
Looks like it's going to bring up about a 2nd and 5 for Douglas County, as they're in their home blue this week for senior night.
Jay Fluin out to the right-hand side, Seeley to the left, but it's going to be a run off tackle, and Brandon breaks it over to the left side for about 6.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be close to a first down. They may have to measure. Yeah, I think he's probably a couple inches short. I don't think they'll measure. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1 for Douglas County.
And they're moving the ball quite well, and they're mixing up the plays, and that's something that they haven't done. They really relied on the running game the first part of the season, and I like what they're doing. I like what Coach has done.
We've seen them time after time in the first quarter make a silly mistake, push them back, but, so far this has been a clean drive. It's like Devin Randall's going to do a little sweep over to the left side, pick up the first down. So once again, Douglas County moves the chains.
And a nice little option play because he did have the option to toss it back to Brandon Penniman. Decided to take it, saw that he had the first down and went for it and got it.
Looks like big 73 Marcus White's offensive lineman, which is a senior, was leading the way that time. We've got to give those offensive linemen a little more credit.
They've really done it for the guy. I mean, when you see a great running back, you know what the deal is. You've got a great offensive line, and you've got a great blocker up front in Barker.
Yeah. Devin Randall rolls to the right. He's going to throw back. Got a man right open in the end zone. Touchdown.
DJ Fluin.
Touchdown, Douglas County.
DJ Fluin with the touchdown and a beautiful pass. Plenty of time back in the pocket. He rolled a little right, looked back to the left-hand side. Fluin had his man beat by at least 6 steps.
Yep. We saw that play last week, and number 88 just was not able to bring the ball in. But tonight the pass was perfect. He was about 5 yards in the end zone. And Douglas County's on the scoreboard here in the first quarter, which is a rarity.
And Bennett, that's a statement series. That's a statement of walking down the field and getting that touchdown when you need it.
Looks like Jake LaPointe kicked the extra point. So Douglas County here early in the first quarter with a 7-0 lead. Impressive drive.
It was very nice, and like you said, it was without penalties, and really that has been that little albatross around their neck all season long, and boy, it was clean all the way down.
Yeah. Well, South Paulding, they started out the season 0-3, and then they put together their longest winning streak in school history, which is 3 games. So that's their current winning streak. So we'll get to see that highly talented quarterback for South Paulding.
He's 6'5". Boy, I'll tell you, when you're 6'5", you really can look over the whole field, and you can see where the receivers are that are available. Look for this to be a passing game for the Spartans.
He's thrown the ball 101 times so far this year. He's had 3 TDs and 4 interceptions. His passing percentage is about 42%, so looking forward to seeing this kid.
Well, I think he's already been picked up by college. He's going to Buffalo.
Yep, committed to Buffalo, and he may get a better offer. You never know till signing day. So,
well, here's a South Paulding team that actually started the season with 3 losses. So their record is not indicative of how they've been playing recently.
Right.
They're a very good team, and they're 3-3 so far in the season, 3-0 in the region.
They played some very good teams their first 3 games. Hiram High was one of them, and they're undefeated.
And look at how they're setting up the wedge. They're real sharp on special teams. It's number 15, Anthony Jones. And
looks like Shea Seeley's helmet came off. And the ball got loose, but they were saying he was down from the hit from Shea Seeley, so there's their man again.
Well, I like the way the Spartans tried to set that up. They tried to set up a wedge. They really brought back their players to make that wedge for Anthony, and Anthony Jones just didn't get enough speed and get up on the left-hand side. Good defensive special teams play by the Tigers.
Looks like number 6, Isaiah Jones for South Paulding, is their primary running back. He's actually split out to the right side. Looks like number 12, Turner, is going to be the lone running back.
And a whistle already. A little confusion on the first series here. Ref sending number 5 back to the sideline or in a different position.
Yeah, it looks like he had a towel that the refs didn't like, so they took like a pink towel in honor of cancer awareness, but they took that away, so we're ready to go here. Number 12 once again in the backfield. Looks like they're going to go from the spread. Take the snap, handoff. Good defensive play by Douglas County.
And a couple of Tigers up on the play. Number 7 really driving back the player, Brandon Jackson, coming in after he was held up.
Nice touchdown pass, Devin! Hand off to number 12. Stopped by number 7 of the Tigers, Brandon Jackson.
It looks like Shanquan Turner's a little shaken up on the play.
Yeah, he's slow going back to the huddle. I don't know if he knows he's in Douglas County or Paulding County right now. Well, Tony Daniel certainly has the size. You can see it from up here. 6'5", you were saying. Good-looking quarterback.
He's out with a different towel now. It's a white towel.
No gain on the play. Looks like it's going to be second. Well, they're going to give him a couple of yards. 2nd and 8 for South Paulding. The Spartans in their road white shirts tonight and burgundy pants, I would say.
Well, when you've got Tony Daniel with 557 yards on the season so far, you can expect that they're going to come out passing, and they really haven't. They're sticking to the running game right now, which is a little odd. It's
like Tony Daniel's going to take it himself, and I don't think he's going to get a yard. We talked about it before the game. Tony Daniel's passing, and this is probably the first true quarterback that Douglas County has seen in the games that we broadcast. Alexander had a quarterback that they had moved from running back, and last week Lithia Springs, they went in the spread offense. He did a lot of running, but Tony Daniel here tonight, he can throw the ball. And we saw with 8 seconds to go in the Lithia Springs game when they sprung that Hail Mary.
Got a little scary.
And so, the defensive backs are really going to have to step up tonight. And if you'll notice the defense for Douglas County, they leave Shea Seeley back there all by himself. And he has to cover both sides. in that touchdown from Lithia Springs last week. He just kind of got caught up, and he just can't cover everything. Oh, long pass.
Wide open, and it's going to be
20-yard line.
Touchdown.
10 and a touchdown.
And a beautiful pass by Tony Daniel. But a great catch, too. That's number 80, and that's Avery King, and stride for stride with that ball all the way down. And you can see that play unfolding.
Yep, we just talked about it. A 65-yard touchdown pass by Tony Daniel, and he certainly put the ball on the money to his wide receiver. And, you know, we talked about it. Shea Seeley all alone back there in that free safety position.
And he was.
And he just can't get over there. I look for Douglas County's defense to maybe adjust to this passing game that South Paulding is going to bring here tonight.
Well, they saw a lot of the run, so that's what they were playing, and that's what they came out defensively. And an extra point is good.
We expect a great game by the first and second place region contenders, and looks like it's shaping up to be.
What I like about the game so far, no penalties. Very clean game. Two teams that are really pumped up to get out there tonight and make a win for themselves.
Looks like the refs are going to let the kids decide it, so that's always a good thing.
I like that.
Let them play.
But you're right. Shea is going to have to get some help back there at that free safety position, and he's covering all of the field. But what they did was they rolled out three guys to the left side, and you could see that play also had the possibility that Tony Daniel could run.
Right.
So I don't think the defense adjusted quickly enough for that.
Yeah. Well, he threw it about 40 yards, which it was right on the money, and then the wide receiver just took it to the house from there. So.
Well, and that shows the strength of Tony as a quarterback. I mean, he rolled to the left. He's a right-hander, and I mean that was spot on.
Yep. 3 plays in that drive for South Paulding and put him on the scoreboard. It's like another short kick. Like it's going to be fielded about the 20-yard line. He bobbles the ball. Now he picks it up, coming around the right side.
Well, it was the best bobble of the season.
Oh, and he's got a seam.
Oh, he had the seam. That's number 28, and that is Xavier Packer. He got tripped up, but boy, he had that seam.
Yep, Xavier is a senior also tonight. Got honored before the game with the parents out on the field. But that was kind of a busted play. Bobbled it, but he picked it up and got some good yardage coming around the left side.
Not bad to get out on the 25-yard line after a little fumble like that.
Yep. So Devin Randall once again going to go in the huddle in front of his big offensive line and call the play. I don't know who you would give the advantage to in a shootout. You know, we haven't seen a shootout from Douglas County all year, that's for sure.
No, it hasn't been.
And of course, South Paulding has put up some points. There's Brandon Penniman around the left side.
And number 45 comes up on the tackle. That's David Way.
Looks like he picked up about 8 yards. And, you know, we were talking about he had another 190-yard game last week, and it didn't feel like it, you know, because with 6 minutes to go in the game, Douglas County was down 6-3, and you would never imagine that he could have had those yards. And, of course, we saw the 2 late touchdowns by Douglas County to end up beating them 17-6. But I think he's up to close to 800 yards, one of the coaches said this week.
Wow, that's incredible. Almost 1,000 yards, and the season's not even over. Look at the confidence Devin has as quarterback. He's really grown this year.
Brandon around the left side. Picks up a first down, about 17 yards, and there we go.
And it looks like South Paulding is very weak against the run on both off-tackle sides, both on the left side and the right side. They're having some trouble with the Douglas County Tigers running game.
And we talked about it all year long that the offensive line for Douglas County gets stronger in the second half. If they can put together a good first half, it really helps out for the second half. We can really wear them down in the second half.
Sure.
We saw them go in the locker room last week against Lithia Springs, down 6-0. They came out, took care of business. So, you know, they've gone through some different scenarios this year.
They're just going to run Penniman. He's the moneymaker for them, and he gets another 6 yards on that play.
We saw him get hurt in the Chapel Hill game earlier in the year, and we talked about it several times. Douglas County's team is a different team with him in the backfield.
Without a doubt. And it's a good thing that he's healthy.
Yeah.
But, boy, he looks real good tonight.
Yeah. It's like a 2nd and 3. Devin Randall goes under the center. going to be Brandon Pettiman on the right side. Looks like they're going to stop him. It's going to bring up about a 3rd down and 3.
And the Spartans kind of figured it out.
Well, first time we've seen them stop him tonight, so.
Little adjustment, the linebacker came up. But here's the problem. Linebacker comes up quick. They do a fake. You can open up that
right.
Throwing game again. So they have to be careful.
Yep, and since this game is not live, I can go ahead and say one of the coaches told me this week that they've put in a screen pass. So they'll probably keep sending Brandon straight up the middle, let the linebackers come through, and then spring that screen pass somewhere late in the first half or in the second. I can't wait to
see that. That's
so
going to be
it'll
beautiful.
be wide open.
Tigers have to take a timeout. Devin Randall saw something he didn't like, and he's going to go talk it over with Coach. That's that senior leadership that you're talking about. You know, Devin Randall stepping up, seeing the defense that he didn't like or came out and the call wasn't right. They weren't setting up the right way, and he's smart enough to take the timeout to talk it over with Coach.
Yeah, 3rd and 3, which is definitely obtainable to get the first down, and he just saw something he didn't like and, call his first timeout. Looking across the way, it looks like South Paulding has brought a crowd. An impressive band also, so.
I just noticed that, yeah. Wow, that is a big crowd.
Yep.
And that's a long drive for them to come across town.
Yeah, it's not that far. I don't know how many miles it is, but, they're not in Douglas County, but it's certainly just right over the Douglas County line.
Sure.
So it looks like Devin Randall's going to go back under center. We got that I formation. We haven't broke the wishbone out yet, but I'm sure it will come.
They're going to the money
on
guy.
The right side. Breaks a couple of tackles. Hard running and picks up 7 yards.
Number 1 on the tackle, that's Matt Ayers. Finally brings him down, but it was the 3rd effort that really got that first down.
And it seems like tonight, into that South Paulding defense, Brandon's picking up a little more yards going to the left side than he is to the right side. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that to see if that's something the coaches may have seen or if it's just working out here tonight.
And they're going to pick on that left side again. And Penniman's really moving the ball down the field.
Great run, picked up about 27 yards.
And a penalty flag is down. And I think we're going to get a face mask on the defense.
I think it'll be a face mask or a late hit. It will definitely go against South Paulding. Some type of... Well, they're going to pick it up, wave it off.
Okay. Well,
anyway.
It looked like the tacklers went in there and kind of got up a little bit on helmet high, but... But Brandon put his head down, so, that's where they were grabbing.
So first down from the 15-yard line. Douglas County trying to retake the lead. South Paulding was only on the field for 3 plays, so we don't know a lot about them before they scored their touchdown. Looks like Devin Randall's going up and under center a lot tonight instead of the spread into the shotgun. Well, he went to the left side again. That kind of stopped him. So.
Well, I think it's about time for a pass. I think you'll see that now. They've really run the ball, about 8 times. I think you're going to see that right now. They'll spread it out. They'll probably go to the right side with a pass.
Yep, Shea Seeley, Antonio Glover's in there.
And Shea's going off to the right. And DJ Fluen's going out to the right-hand side, too. Might see a repeat where Fluen comes off and, or you could see a run.
Yep, gave it straight to the fullback.
Didn't go anywhere, though.
It's Joseph Barker straight up the middle.
Slew of kids on the tackle, but I see number 99 coming up from the pile. That's DeMarcus Hamilton.
So no gain once again, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10. See Juan Cerna loosening up on the sideline.
But he's got the foot, yeah.
Certainly within his field goal range.
Absolutely. He hit a 43-yarder. And then we just love watching him, before the game. He can always stick him up from a distance. There's that pass to the right.
Little screen pass to Shea Seeley trying to get him to...
He's fast. He's fast.
Oh, great move.
That's beautiful.
We got a penalty flag here, and I think number 88 came back and hit somebody in the back. They're going to get a block in the back on 88. It's going to bring this play back. Let's see what they say.
That's DJ Flewin, and he was just trying to he's saying it's on me. He's pointing to himself. He's like, it's on me, coach. And that's unfortunate. But, he was just trying to do his job. And
looks like a holding on the wide receiver, DJ Flewin. So you hate to see points taken off the board, but sometimes it happens.
And that one's going to come back a little distance. So now we've got the penalty against the Tigers, and that's the thing that's killed them in the first half of each of the games that they played this year so far.
It's going to be a 10-yard penalty for holding. Going to bring up about a 3rd and 17.
Yep.
Well, they tried that screen pass several times with Shea Seeley, just trying to get the ball to him, trying to get in his hands to make a big play. Looks like Devin Randall's going to scramble. Somebody's open in the end zone. He overthrows him. Looks like Antonio Glover was in the end zone, maybe had a couple of steps.
He sure did.
He was
just waiting. Overthrown. That was it. Are we going to get the foot, or are we going to get that's really the only thing they can do.
Looks like Juan Cerna is going to go out.
Yeah, why not? What is this going to be? This is probably going to be a 40-yarder where he's setting up at the 30-yard line.
40-yarder.
So it's going to be 40-yarder. They're at the right side, is about the right hash. Nice kick up, and it's good.
I tell you, we can't say enough about this young freshman. Yes. Juan Cerna has came in for a 47. Last week he kicked a 43, and now he's kicked a 40-yarder.
He's money. That foot is money. Yep. 10-7 puts the Tigers up on top.
Just hope he doesn't go to college as a sophomore. Hope he stays his 4 years.
That's right. Well, that was a good series of play aside from the penalty that brought back the potential touchdown. So you get 3 points up. The team's got a lot of confidence coming out of that where, hey, we've got a 4th down. We're about 40 yards away from a field goal. Boom. It's nice to know that you have that in your back pocket.
Yeah. Well, it was 3rd and 10 when they tried that screen pass to Shea. So it was a long try for 1st down anyway, but they were certainly trying to get it, but got pushed back, and Juan comes in and puts points on the board, and that's what you want.
Number 15, Anthony Jones, back to receive the ball for the Spartans.
Looks like Juan's going to get to kick it off also.
And I think I'm reading his numbers right. I think it's number 15. Just got to turn a little sideways, buddy. There you go. Yep. It's number 15. Okay. And he's going to get it. That's a good kick.
About the 10-yard line. Yeah, good return. Looks like about 20 yards on the return. It's going to bring up 1st and 10 for South Paulding at Douglas County's 30-yard line.
It's a nice return.
I noticed Juan's kicking it a little deeper this week. Last week we saw that little pooch kick, which Lithia Springs fumbled and kind of helped Douglas County out. But it's like he's getting some leg into it tonight.
Absolutely.
It's like South Paulding's going to come out in the I backfield. Tony Daniel under the center. After that 65-yard pass for a touchdown for South Paulding.
Oh, man, and number 8
it's like
is
Antonio
making
Glover's
the move.
going to run him down, which he does.
That's Ladarius Ferguson. And that was a healthy run. It didn't look like he had a lot of speed, a lot of bursts of speed on that. He just looks like a power runner.
Right.
But I think what faked the defense out is, if you'll notice this, when Tony Daniel goes back, he'll hold that ball way up high when he's ready to pass the ball. And so the defense probably read the pass, and it wasn't.
Looks like the handoff once again. That's number 6. That's Isaiah Jones. Looks like Isaiah's got a 313 yards so far this season on 63 carries.
Wow.
For South Paulding. So he's their leading rusher by far. Looks like it's going to bring up about a 2nd and 4 for South Paulding.
Bringing in number 24, that's Connor Van. He's a wide receiver. So what do you think they're going to do now, Bennett?
It's like they got the running game going. But, you know, it's Shea Seeley all back there by himself. Once again, in that safety position kind of scares me. So we'll see. Yeah, just go with the running game. Number 6, once again, Isaiah Jones. Looks like Douglas County stopped at that time. Looks like it's probably going to bring up about a 3rd down and 3.
And this is a critical 3rd down and 3 for the Douglas County Tigers.
Yeah, big play here late in the first quarter.
And it's going to be a very big play for the Spartans as well. They need to move that ball. You got about 18 seconds left in this first quarter. They might not get the play off. Tony's taking a lot of time. Just barely gets the play off. And that's going to be a 1st down.
He broke a couple of tacklers, and Shea Seeley finally brought him down.
That's Chan Quan Turner, and a gain of about 7.
Looks like they're going to spot it about the 13-yard line for South Paulding. South Paulding really getting a lot of big chunks of yardage here in the first half on their offense.
I noticed that, and it wasn't like that, their first or second series, but they've obviously adjusted to the Douglas County Tigers defense, and the Tigers defense they've not adjusted to the Spartans offense. They seem a little confused out there.
Well, they've got a very balanced attack. They run the ball well, they pass the ball well, of course with Tony Daniel. So it's going to be a challenge for Douglas County's defense here tonight to stop this South Paulding team.
I think Tony Daniel as the quarterback, he's got a running game as well.
Yeah, great scrambler. We'll see him run the ball some tonight.
If you'd like to see the broadcast of City TV Sports, you can see it and review tonight's game on Comcast Digital 22, Tributary 98, Tuesday at 9 p.m., Wednesday at 4:30 p.m., Thursday at 4 and 8, and Saturday 12:30 and 6:30 p.m. Or you can look at City TV Sports on the web at mycitytv.com. That's mycity, CITITV.com. I know Brandon Penniman's mom, Cassandra, is going to be watching.
Absolutely.
She wants a copy of the game.
We can get her one. We can arrange that.
And her boy's having a real good game today.
Yep. Looks like South Paulding can pick up a 1st down. Looks like they're about on the 14, 13-yard line. So it's going to be 1st down and 10. Tony Daniel goes back under center.
And they're in the I formation.
Looks like he's going to hand off. But he pulled it out, and then he pitched it late. There's a fumble. Oh, Douglas County got it. Douglas County got it.
Who's coming up off the pile on the bottom? That's number 54. Number 54 with a recovery.
The referees are kind of talking about this one, but we don't have instant replay, but I could see it pretty good from up here. It's got to be Douglas County football.
It's going to be a fumble. Number 54, Jake LaPointe, coming up with that. They're talking about if he had control of the ball, but that was a pitch. That was not a pass.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it didn't matter. Doesn't matter if you had control of the ball or not.
No.
Yeah, Douglas
County's 1st down.
Well, Tony Randall kind of stuck that into his fullback. There was some congestion there, and he tried to pull it back out. He was kind of shuffling the ball, and then he had a late pitch to his running back coming around the left side, and the running back, it really wasn't a good pitch. The running back never got a hold of it.
Looked like a broken play to me. I mean, it just didn't look like he handed off very well and tried to recover from that bad handoff.
And so now it looks like they're going to give South Paulding the ball.
How does that happen? They're saying the ball was down. They're giving it to South Paulding. So it's almost like a dead ball call.
I don't understand that call. The only way it could have been a dead ball is if he had passed the ball. And he didn't pass it, he pitched it.
Well, it looked like a broken handoff. He tried to hand to the running back.
Right.
Pulled it back out.
And it's got to be third down here,
then
Monk. They're showing second down.
Yeah.
But they can't give them that play, whatever it was.
Not only did they gave him the ball because they gave it to them as a recovery. It looked like they gave them the recovery as a fumble because it's second down. It should be third down even if they.
So we're really confused here at Tiger Stadium tonight. Looks like they're going to stick with the run.
And they're going to get a touchdown. And that's devastating for Douglas County.
Touchdown, South Paulding. It's like their leading rusher, Isaiah Jones, took the ball. About an 8-yard scamper for a touchdown. Well, really a strange series of events here at Tiger Stadium. I don't understand it yet.
I'm befuddled. I just don't understand what went on there. They looked like they got an extra down, plus they got the ball back on what appeared to be a fumble, and a fumble recovery by number 54, Jake LaPointe.
Yeah, the extra point is going to be good. So South Paulding is going to go up on a questionable play, a questionable call by the officials. 14-10 here against Douglas County.
And an unhappy crowd for sure.
You know, Monk, we talked a little bit about this region championship that they're playing for tonight. Douglas County and South Paulding play in 4A, and they're in the Region 5. There's 14 teams in the region, so they split it up north and south. Douglas County, both of these teams are in the south, and the winner of tonight's game would be in first place and has a really good chance. They both have extra games in the season, but would have a really good chance of winning the region championship.
And then that means that they would play the number 4 team going into the playoffs.
That's right.
As the strongest team in the southern region.
Yep, they would play the weakest team from the north side.
Right.
And then number 1 would play 4, number 2 would play 3. So a couple of advantages that you have. If you win the region, you get to play the number 4 seed from the north. Also, you get to host the first game. If you win that one, you get to host the championship game for the region. All good things.
So, almost a must-win game. Shea Seeley back in the end zone. What was that?
They kicked it in the end zone. You can't advance it in high school football if it's in the end zone. So,
I thought he was out of the end zone. I have the cheap seats, Bennett.
Yeah.
So they'll come out to the 20-yard line. Maybe we should try to catch up with the refs at the end of the game and try to get an explanation for that last series of play.
Well, we've got one here in the booth with us, about 3 people down, but he's bigger than both me and you, so I'm not going to go ask him anything.
I think if we asked him politely, he might tell us what went on.
So once again, we're going to go with Brandon Penniman.
He's off to the left side and off to the races for the first down.
10 more yards, and I'm seeing now how he gets 190 yards a game.
Man, sweet runs for him tonight. He's really following the blocking. Like you mentioned, the offensive line is really stepping up. And Brandon's speed is certainly showing tonight.
Well, I think if he gets in the open field, I don't think anybody on South Paulding's defense will be able to catch him.
I think you called that one right.
It's like Devin Randall, straight handoff to Brandon. On the right side, looks like they're going to stop him.
Does he get tired?
I don't think so. He kind of gets stronger as the game goes on.
That's a lot of energy from a guy.
They give him a couple of breathers every once in a while. He's coming off the field now for a couple of plays. Looks like John Willis, number 19, is going to go in for him.
There's Biscuit up front. He's doing his job tonight at center.
Saw him before the game with his mom and dad for senior night.
Hey, there's Mr. Willis, and he's going up the left side with no problem. Nice straight arm.
Stiff arm at the end of the play, and there again we see him a lot of success going to the left side, not necessarily the right side. So,
well, they found the weakness on the South Paulding Spartans, and they're picking on it.
Yeah.
And this has been a score, Douglas County Tigers score South Paulding scores. Douglas County Tigers score, and it's just a matter of who scores the most points.
I haven't seen a shootout. This is going to be exciting. But in a shootout, you have to continue to score, or you get behind. So, but Douglas County looks like they've got some momentum here. It's like the linebacker. Looks like big number 49.
Woo, he came up.
That's going to be Austin Roberts. The middle linebacker for South Paulding came up, met Brandon, and Brandon looks like he's going to pick up about 3 yards, bring up 2nd and 7.
Yeah.
For the Douglas County Tigers.
Yeah, Mr. Barker's feeling that one on the pads. That one hurt. They were successful a little bit earlier, the Tigers, with some passing game, and there's the option.
Yep, Brandon Penniman out in the open field. Shakes one tackler, and it's like he's going to pick up about 14 yards for another Douglas County first down.
And they pulled it over to the right side, which they haven't done pretty much all game.
Right. Hadn't had success on that right side going up the middle, but that time it was a quick pitch, got Brandon out in some space on the right side, and he was able to pick up 13 yards, move the chains, and continue this Douglas County drive.
And it's a beautiful-looking drive. It's very methodical.
It's like
Triculating down the field.
It's like they're going to give Brandon Penniman a rest again.
I'm impressed with Willis. He's really stepping up.
Yeah, he's a sophomore. Really had some good runs here tonight.
John comes out a little shaken up. I think he's just out of breath.
Probably. Looks like Douglas County is going to take their second timeout. Maybe not.
No, it might be an official timeout.
Looks like Devin Randall comes all the way to the sideline to meet Coach Oglesby for the play. You know, they threw that screen pass to Shea Seeley early in the first quarter, kind of spread them out a little bit. So we'll see if they continue to run or if they, it's like Brandon Penniman.
He got stopped, number 45. Is that 49? Or number 45?
That's 45.
David Way on the tackle.
Yep. Those inside linebackers are really penetrating the offensive line of Douglas County and making some stops.
And David Way came off from the left side all the way over to the right side to make that tackle. So he had a good view of the play.
Yep.
As it was developing.
It's like he lost 2 yards, going to bring up about a 2nd and 12
Actually,
for the DC Tigers.
Actually, number 45, David, is the defensive end who's gotten boxed out on that play.
Yep. It's like Shea Seeley catches the ball about the 27-yard line.
And he caught a little head in the kidneys.
In the back. Yep.
Oh, man. He's a tough guy.
Good pass by Devin Randall that time, rolled out to the right side. Showed some confidence once again throwing the ball here in the first half. Well, you know they're going to stack the defensive front to try to stop Brandon. At some point, they're going to sell out to putting 8 guys in the box. Going to have to continue to spread them out, some quick screens, keep them honest. It's like Devin Randall's going to throw once again. He's going to throw back. They had...
Oh, that was off the back of his foot. That was a poor throw.
They had
Poor choice.
Brandon Penniman set up on the left side for a screen pass. He had about 3 offensive linemen out there with him against 1 defender. Play was really set up good. Devin Randall just wasn't able to look over there quick enough, kind of threw the ball to the right side. That would have been a huge play with 3 blockers in front of Brandon Penniman on the left side.
It did look like it was setting up, and he just came back too far and then got penetration from the defensive end, David Way, so he had to get rid of the ball.
Yeah. And that was one of those plays we talked about earlier that nobody's seen all year.
Oh, here comes Juan Cerna.
Little 45-yarder.
Up, and it is good. No
It
good.
was off to the right side.
It sure
It
did.
had the
Okay.
distance
It sure did
for a
have the distance.
55-yarder,
Yeah.
but just missed it on the right side. So
Well, when you take a look at the game right now, it's 14-10. South Paulding is up on top. And if you look at the past history of the Spartans, Look at the scores of the games on their wins. Villarica scored 18 points. Alexander scored 14 points. And in their homecoming, Lithia Springs didn't score at all.
Which was really a shock because Lithia Springs had a good team last week we watched.
Thought so? I thought so. Well, they came back to have a good team last week because they have some losses under their belt. But
well, if you look at those wins, they really put up some points on the board.
They did. And in their wins, you know, they've got 21 points in one win against Villarica. And Alexander, they had 41 points and 35, and now they're already at 14 here. We're not even at the half.
Yeah, the last two games are averaging about 38 points a game. Last week they had an off week, so, you know, that's always good to get everybody healthy. Some people that are dinged up gives you extra practice. So, you know, they're coming into this game fresh. An offense has been rolling the last two games, and looks like they're continuing here tonight.
A 2nd and 7, Tony Daniel up underneath. They're going to spread a receiver wide to the left, but they're going to run it up the middle. And he tripped up on his own guy.
Yep, good play. Let's see who was in there. It looks like number 23 for Douglas County. That's Robert Hale, a senior linebacker. And he was kind of in the backfield.
But, yeah, Chan Quan Turner kind of tripped up on number 47, Stephen Johnson.
Yep.
And that was his own guy.
Well, we got 3rd and 6. I think we're going to see Tony Daniel throw the ball here. We've only seen him throw it one time, I think. And that was a 65-yard touchdown pass.
So, yeah, look for those wide open plays. Those wide open plays really break it open and really give these guys momentum.
Looks like South Paulding is going to call their timeout.
Fred's on the field, and I think he's got Coach Black, so let's go down to Fred.
Coach, saw you over there getting at the guys. Gaping holes down here is not looking good. Looks like Paulding's is controlling the line of scrimmage. Yes. What were you talking about over there?
We just got to get our linebackers in better position. Our linebackers aren't getting what they're supposed to. Everything else is doing right. We're trying to bounce everything, and we're not getting it to the point where we can bounce it. We're trying to spill it outside because we think we can get them outside if we get the speed. We're trying to shut down the middle.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Well, we got 5 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the first half. Douglas County trailing 14-10 by region leading South Paulding. They're 3-0 in the region, as we said earlier.
A bizarre call for South Paulding, what appeared to be a fumble and a recovery by Jake LaPointe of the Tigers, getting turned over. The ball goes back to the Spartans. The Spartans come out. They score the touchdown.
Yep. And I noticed on our broadcast at CDTV last week, we do instant replay, and so that'd be good to have that play as one of the instant replay plays to see what exactly happened, because I haven't figured that one out yet.
That's been the difference in the ball game, and the missed field goal by Ron Cerna.
This will be a big stop here for Douglas County, 3rd and
well, look at
6.
how they're spread out. So you know they're going with the pass, and it's a little screen.
Yep.
And
Shea
there
Seeley
you have
comes
Shea
up. Shea Seeley's got him, and they're going to stop him behind the line. Great defensive play. It's going to force South Paulding to punt. Shea Seeley read it, was right with the receiver right when he caught the ball around the left side, able to get some help from
Jake LaPointe was up there. Number 25 was up there too. That's LaCurtis Campbell. So Seeley read it. He stopped the play. LaPointe came up, helped out, and they stopped that one. Count the men on the field. You might have a little too many.
Yep, looks like Tyler Cantrell, number 85, is going to punt for South Paulding. We've got 2 receivers back, which that's a little different for Douglas County, and I still say Shea is playing a little bit deep for this punt.
And he is playing
a
little deep, so they're going to let it go and let it bounce, and it takes a South Paulding Spartan bounce, and that's exactly what he did last game and the game before.
Yep.
Playing too far back.
We're just kind of giving them 15 yards on that roll at the end of the punt.
There's a flag on the play, so hopefully we won't get a Douglas County Tiger call.
Yeah, I think it's going to be on South Paulding, unless it was encroachment on Douglas County.
It's illegal procedure.
Yep, illegal procedure against South Paulding. Now you got a big decision. You can push them back. It wasn't a very good punt. You can push them back, let him punt it again.
I say take the ball.
Take the ball?
Take the ball. You got Brandon Penniman doing a great job.
I'm going to say make them punt again.
I'm going to say take the ball, but coach is going to make them punt again.
Yep.
Well, that's why he's the coach.
Yeah,
okay?
you got to take away that 15-yard roll that killed them. I mean, but Shea, they're still standing in the same spot that they were.
Too far back. As a matter of fact, they're standing the same place, and they've moved the ball back.
And the ball hit 20 yards from the last time,
So you're going to get the same result. Way back.
Looks like the referees are having problems figuring out where to spot the ball.
They forgot to mark it off. If I'm coach, I'm moving the boys up a little bit tighter in because that.
Me too.
That guy doesn't have a leg. It was the roll that really gave it the length last time.
They're standing at a 40-yard punt, both receivers for Douglas County. And we saw the first punt go about 20 yards. There's a snap, good snap. And he gets it off this time.
Well, he got some good
length. A little better
length.
punt. Don't try to run it. I think he...
Looked like he called...
I thought he called for a fair catch.
I thought he called a fair catch as well.
I think they got away with one there. Shea Seeley picks the ball up.
Number 88's down
and
in the
one
field.
of the referees is pointing. Did he call it? Now they're going to reach in the pocket and throw the flag. 15 seconds after the play is over.
Wow. DJ Fluin is hurt on the play, too. He came down on that and on his right knee.
So I don't guess you have to actually throw a flag. There's not one yet.
They're talking it over, though.
Yeah, I think Shea did call a fair catch.
And they're going to spot it where he called the fair catch.
Once again.
Can they do that?
Well, they just did it.
Is that a new rule?
I guess if you call a fair catch, you don't have to actually catch it. Wherever it hits, it's down.
That's where it goes. Okay.
All right, I'm on board now. Anyway, Douglas County is going to have 1st and 10. Looks like they may discuss it a little bit more.
They got some coaches out on the field right now talking to the refs.
Well, I think what they're saying is if he called a fair catch and then he grabbed the ball and ran with it, that should be a penalty.
Right.
All right, well, they never threw a flag.
That's correct. They're just marking it where the ball landed at the fair catch. What appeared to be the fair catch.
Yeah. I think the worst thing that can happen here is for them to step off a penalty against Douglas County.
That would be horrible.
After not throwing a flag.
Exactly.
So we'll see.
The alleged fair catch, okay?
Yeah. I think he did raise his arm. I think he's guilty of that.
I think it was swatting some flies.
That smoke gets pretty thick from the concession stand over there on the visiting side.
That's right. They're still going to talk this thing over.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to see them walk this off without a penalty flag. That would just be horrible.
Well, we do know Douglas County has the ball.
We think. Because last time we thought they had the ball.
I don't think they could take it away from them this time, Monk. I don't know how they're. I know they're talking a long time, but I think they'd have to talk an awful long time to come up with that decision.
To watch this exciting game, make sure that you go to City TV Sports Tuesday at 9 p.m., Wednesday at 4:30 p.m., Thursday 4 and 8 p.m., Saturday 12:30 and 6:30 p.m. We're on Comcast Digital 22, Tributary 98, or you can view it at City TV Sports on the web at mycitytv.com, and it's City spelled C-I-T-I, mycitytv.com.
You know, we love these officials. Anybody that can show up at a game, 50% of the people be for you, and 50% be against you. There's really no way that you can win. You know, every decision you make, somebody's not going to be happy.
Absolutely.
So this is a tough job, and they're going to talk this over, make sure they get it right. Looks like they're going to leave the ball exactly where it's at. It's going to be 1st down, Douglas County.
Thank you, and let's get on with the game. Give a nice rest to the Spartans defense.
So we've only got 3 minutes and 28 seconds to go here in the first half.
And the crowd's booing, but they're not booing for the Tigers. They're just booing for the delay of the game. And Penniman coming off to the left side.
On the left side.
Oh, nice.
He's got some moves. I mean, when he cuts back.
But he's down and he's not coming up right away.
Yeah, I think that's the.
Is that DJ again? That's DJ Fluen.
Yeah, DJ Fluden.
He's back down on the ground. Yeah.
Looks like Antonio Glover's checking in for him. He's going to come to the sideline and get a little breather.
He's kind of favoring his right leg. I think he's limping on that left leg a little bit, but I think he just got a little wind taken out of him on that block.
8 yards on the first down for Brandon Penniman. As the clock continues to roll, we're going to have to kind of put this in a 2-minute offense in a minute to try to get some points before the end of the first half. Looks like Devin Randall's going to keep it. Now he's going to pitch it.
Oh, nice pitch by
Brandon Penniman. He couldn't get it, but Devin Randall ended up with it. It's going to be for a big game.
Let's see what the refs do on this one here.
Yeah, it's going to be first down, Douglas County.
It will, and yeah, Devin came up with it.
Yep.
He's like, oh yeah, that's my ball. Well, that was an exciting first down. It was a first down either way.
Yep.
But that was a dangerous pitch way late. That was a college football pitch.
Yep. So we crossed the midfield mark. 2 minutes and 28 seconds to go. First down and 10 for Douglas County, and any points here at the end of the first half will be appreciated, Monk.
Well, I'll tell you, if they get the touchdown, to go into the locker room with a 2-point lead or a 3-point lead would be spectacular at this point. Penniman over the left side. They've been picking on that all night long.
It's like he's going to pick up about 6 yards.
Still have a couple of timeouts, too, so you're down to the 2-minute warning right now, and you'll get a couple of timeouts.
You know, we've seen all year in the second half, Coach Oglesby gives them that pep talk or whatever he tells them at halftime. Douglas County really comes out strong.
A stronger team in the second half than the first half, so we have to be impressed with their play tonight in the first half, regardless of what happens on this series.
Yeah, I don't think they've got but one penalty in the first half, which is a change.
It is a big change for them. Do they have enough people on the field? They do. They'll send Antonio Glover out.
Just like Antonio Glover and Shea Seeley. They fake it.
That's a nice little fake and a run by Devin Randall. Up the middle.
He takes a hard hit about the 24-yard line.
Probably got about 9 on that one.
Yep, they're going to have to get up, get to the line.
They stopped the clock with 1:20 left.
You know, we saw Devin Randall last week get hurt that last series against Lithia Springs, and he certainly took a lick that time. Got up a little slow. And he's a tough kid. He's a senior. He's not coming out.
It looked like the beginning of the game, you said pregame, he looked like he was limping a little bit and didn't look quite right, but they're marking this off. This is a penalty? I didn't see a flag. Did you? Where did the flag come from?
Yeah, he's putting it in his pocket now. It was about the 34-yard line. So,
sorry, I missed that. Did you miss that flag too?
I missed it, absolutely. So I didn't see what it was. Probably a hold, it looks like, on an offensive lineman, moves it back. So it's going to be
second down.
Second and 10.
And a minute 16 left. Minute 10 now. That was a quick 6 seconds.
Joseph Barker straight up the middle. Not a popular play here for the crowd. They're wanting some points on the board before the end of the first half. Looks like Douglas County's going to call a timeout here.
Well, they've been running the ball so well with Brandon Penniman. And even Devin Randall's been running the ball on the option pretty well to the outside. So, taking Barker and running him up the middle, obviously not a popular play with the fans and moms and dads, but, maybe Coach has a little strategy going on. Maybe he was going to try to run it up top there to open up the outside again, and he knew he had 2 timeouts in the back pocket and just called one here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's 2-down territory for Douglas County. It's about 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. If we can pick up about 4 or 5 yards here to bring up 4th and 4, I look for them to go for it, try to get the touchdown, keep the drive moving. It looks like they need about 12 yards to get in Juan Cerna's field goal range. Last field goal, it would have been good from about 55 yards. It was just off to the right.
And it would be okay to get a field goal here. You'll have a 1-point game, but it would just be fantastic if the Tigers could make a score and put 6 up on the board.
Yeah, any points on the board here at the end of the first half would be big. We did stop South Paulding on their last offensive drive, forced them to punt, so we'll see what they do here.
Devin's going to be back in the shotgun now. And the crowd is really getting into this game with a minute left and a whistle. And it's going to be a timeout.
Yep. Timeout South Paulding. Coaches wanted to kind of take a look at what offense Douglas County was going to run. Waited till they got set up and they called the timeout to kind of talk it over.
City TV is very proud to partner with the College and Career Institute and their TV production class that are offered at the CCI campus. The Pulse, produced by CCI students. That airs on City TV at 4 p.m. on Wednesday, just prior to the rebroadcast of tonight's game. Good kids, they work hard. I'm proud to bring it to you on City TV.
This is their last planned broadcast for City TV. I don't know if they'll pick up a region game if we have a home game or not. Haven't made that decision yet, but I've had some great emails over the week and some phone calls, and people really love to see the replay on City TV.
And we appreciate that, even if you know what the score is going to be. It's great to see your kids play and watch exactly what, and it's got to be great film for the coach, too.
Yeah.
I wonder if South Paulding and the Spartans coach,
we got offsides on somebody. I think it was our offensive lineman. I think it was number 73. That's Marcus Whites. We'll see if he actually moved. Yep, looks like he did. They're going to back us at 5 yards.
Wow, this is a killer, especially with 1 minute left, and you have to get some kind of points on the board before the half.
Looks like they're just going to stay with the same play. So whatever play you had called on 3rd and 10, you're going to try it again on 3rd and 15. So I'm thinking that's probably a pass play.
It's got to be, and he's in the shotgun. Devin's in the shotgun, but he's got Penniman in the backfield with him.
He's going to step back. He fakes.
Oh, he gets
tries to run the
nailed.
ball.
That's number 90 on the tackle, and he just came in. Colonel Hobson off of a Penniman block. We're down to 40 seconds. Down to 40 seconds with one timeout left. What's Coach going to do? They're taking a lot of time up on that line. And the refs are going to call a timeout.
Yep, going to kind of reset the ball. We'll run the clock now, so the clock will run. Down under 40 seconds to go. Looks like Coach Oglesby is going to run the clock down, so there'll be just one play left in the half, which is a very smart move. We don't want to give South Paulding
and a Shea
the ball
Seeley
back.
A Shea Seeley drop.
Yep, ball was underthrown to Shea Seeley. So we're going to turn the ball over to South Paulding here late in the first half.
And you can bet the South Paulding, the Spartans are going to go for one big play.
We saw last week, all it takes is 8 seconds to
That's
score.
Right.
South Paulding's got 18 seconds, so we'll see if they're as efficient as Lithia Springs was last week right before the half. That was a big play for Lithia Springs, and I thought it really put Douglas County in a hole.
Well, they went into the locker room and then came back out a different team and won that game. So
looks like South Paulding's just going to take a knee, run the clock out, and go into the locker room with a 14-10 lead.
On the road, why not?
Yep.
And that's exactly what they're going to do.
Well, Monk, in the first half, we saw a shootout by both offensive teams. South Paulding using the big pass play to take the lead early, but then Douglas County comes right back and answers with a field goal. But then South Paulding, on a play that we'll try to figure out
on the crazy play
later in the week, gave the ball back to them on the 10-yard line. They were able to run it in to take a 14-10 lead over Douglas County.
Douglas County did have a touchdown that was called back, and they had to opt for the field goal on that. So it's a lot closer than even the score shows at a 14-10 game right now, and it should be a Douglas County lead.
Yep. Looks like both bands are going to be represented here tonight, so we're going to let you sit back and enjoy the halftime show here from Tiger Stadium.
At halftime, Douglas County Tigers 10, then the Paulding County Spartans 14.
right, we're back for the second half. South Paulding won the toss at the start of the game. They deferred so that they could get the ball at the start of the second half.
It's a 14-10 game with the Spartans on top, a 4-3 DC Tiger football team against a 3-3 South Paulding team. And in the region, a 3-0 Spartans team and a 3-1 DC Tigers team. The big difference in this game was the play that took away what appeared to be a fumble recovery for the DC Tigers. However, we talked to the ref up in the booth, and this is how he explained it.
Yeah, he said that there was an inadvertent whistle at the start of the play, and so the play's pretty much ruled dead. There's no play. That's why when they got the ball back, it was first down once again. So they sorted it out, gave us a good explanation. Unfortunately, it cost Douglas County 7 points to put them behind 14-10, but that's high school football at its best.
That was a do-over in simple layman terms. But, you know, an inadvertent whistle, you don't know that. You hear the stands, they go crazy. They're like booing the refs and everything like that. But you don't know what was happening down in the field. And hopefully they explained it to the kids,
right?
You know, and the coaches.
A very unpopular call here by the Douglas County fans. The press box was actually shaking at one point when they were jumping up and down with their feet, but they got it sorted out. Douglas County's defense will have to rise to the occasion here in the second half to try to stop this very high-powered South Paulding offense.
And the second half has been the saving grace for this DC Tigers team. I mean, every time they've come out in the second half, they played harder than the first. They've worn down the opponent, I think.
Right.
That's what they've done. They've got a formidable opponent in the Spartans, and it doesn't look like they're worn down.
Well, the offense wears the opposing team down. They put some points on the board in the second half. The only difference here tonight is they're playing somebody in South Paulding that can score with them.
Exactly.
And so it's really going to have to rely on Douglas County's defense, which they did the last series that South Paulding had the ball in the first half. Douglas County's defense was able to stop them, force them to punt. Of course, then we got the ball back and the drive stalled. But Douglas County's defense is going to be the key here in the second half. We usually rely on their offense to kind of wear them down. Of course, as long as the offense can stay on the field, that keeps South Paulding's offense on the sidelines.
I think you might see a few more blitzing opportunities for the defense here, put a little pressure on the quarterback, Tony Daniel. Number 5, he's 6'5", and he's a fine quarterback. And when he gets back in that pocket and has some time to throw, he can find his open receivers.
Yep, and a balanced attack. It hadn't been a Tony Daniel show here in the first half. He did make a connection on that 65-yard touchdown pass early in the first quarter. But they've got a very balanced attack. We talked about it earlier. I mean, they run the ball well. They pass the ball well. And so I think they'll continue to mix it up against Douglas County.
And what's the key on offense for Douglas County Tigers in the second half?
They've had success. I mean, I bet Brandon Penniman is close to 100 yards. I mean, he's had a couple of yards, at least 35 yards or more, a couple of runs. He's probably close to 100 yards, so they're just going to continue to do that. You know, they haven't gone to the wishbone, which we saw last week against Lithia Springs. That kind of confused Lithia Springs in the second quarter of that game last week. I think we'll maybe see them go to a little wishbone. We did see them throw those screen passes to Shea Seeley, which is something different that they put in this week, kind of get the ball in his hands, the playmaker. So I don't think they're going to hold anything back as far as the play selection that they have here in the second half, because this is a big game. You get home field advantage in the region playoffs, and, you know, if you've got it, you're going to show it here in the second half to try to get this victory. Douglas
County Tigers kicking off to South Paulding and the Spartans. And you've got the big guy, number 95, freshman Juan Cerna, to kick it off. And he's really had a good foot tonight. I mean, he's kicking a lot deeper than he has in the past couple of games.
Yep, we saw him miss a 42-yard field goal, I think, in the first half.
He had plenty of length on it.
Yep, that at least tells us that he's human, because we haven't seen him miss all year.
I know.
Freshman kicker that walks in, converted soccer player that you know, and he's just been perfect until tonight. So
that was that first miss, but it didn't miss by much.
No.
I mean, it was just slightly off to the right-hand side.
Plenty of legs, so he's going to kick off here, try to pin them deep. Looks like number 45. That's going to be David Way back for South Paulding.
And the kick goes back deep, but we've got a whistle. Yeah, let's start it off with a little whistle.
Yeah, we had 2 offside penalties against Douglas County late in the game last week against Lithia Springs. It looks like they're going to get their third one here tonight at home.
They're just anxious when they come out of that locker room, you know. But that was a great kick by Juan, so he'll have to repeat it to get it back there as far as he did the first time.
That's going to back him up to the 35-yard line. It will give South Paulding good field position to start this second half, which that's something that we don't want to happen.
Antonio Wallace is back, number 23, as you mentioned, number 45. That's David Way. He's back in the middle. And then number 47, it's Stephen Johnson. So those are your hands for South Paulding.
Got our seniors, Antonio Glover, Shea Seeley on the kickoff team. We're going to get down and try to make the tackle. A little shorter kick this time. Looks like South Paulding's going to catch the ball about the 17-yard line. It's going to come down the right side. They pin him up, but he gets loose. Number 22.
Number 8 drags him down. That's Carlton Hadley, and he saved what could have been a potentially big play for South Paulding.
Yeah, looks like number 23. That's Antonio Wallace. He got in a crowd of people, and all of a sudden he just popped out to the right side, and everybody thought he was down. Had a couple of Douglas County defenders saved a big play.
Look how fast Antonio Glover was. He came straight up, and he actually had that play stopped. He slipped out. He just didn't get a good firm on that tackle. And otherwise, I think it would have been stopped back a little bit further.
It's like back in the I formation for South Paulding. Tony Daniel under the center. Straight handoff to the fullback right up the middle. It's like he's going to pick up about 5 yards.
That's the first time I've really seen them power up the middle like that.
Looks like number 12, Mr. Turner, carrying the ball for South Paulding. Looks like Brandon Jackson's having a decent game for Douglas County. He's a defensive end. He's a senior also. On the other side, Javante Kemp Davis, one of the leading tacklers that we've said before for Douglas County. He's a senior. So they're anchoring both sides of that Douglas County defense.
Number 15, Anthony Jones is off to the right, but they're going to run it to the right. That's number 6, and it's Isaiah Jones with a very short run. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Isaiah Jones has had the most carries of any running back for South Paulding this year. Had some success in the first half of the running game with him. Looks like they're going to come out running the ball here in the second half.
Yeah, he's got 313 yards, so that's a pretty hefty running back there.
Yeah, averages 5 yards a carry for South Paulding's offense. I was very surprised Tony Daniel has only had 557 yards of passing yards this year for South Paulding.
Well, he's gotten a lot of yardage tonight on some of the big plays,
right,
but we haven't seen him do any flare passes, screens. They're going to Wildcat right now. They don't have their quarterback.
Yep. Like a straight snap coming around. Shea Seeley falls down. But we're going to have a block in the back probably, or a hold on South Paulding. They're going to back them up. Looks like Javante Kemp Davis made the call, so it might have been him that they were holding from his left side.
And that couldn't have come at a better time for the Tigers.
Mm-hmm. Looks like number 12 shaking up a little bit for South Paulding. Yeah, so it was 3rd and 5. Going to back it up probably 10 yards. Bring up about a 3rd and 13. Yep, holding on South Paulding. I think he would have had the first down without the holding call, so this is a key play here in the second half for Douglas County.
Well, he would have had the first down with the holding. See,
Yeah. I think you could have got that first down.
I could have got that
if they were holding.
That's right.
So all the way back to the 28-yard line for South Paulding. And we'll probably see that throwing arm of Tony Daniel here with 3rd and 13. So big defensive play here early in the second half for Douglas County.
Yeah,
if they can stop them here, they'll get great field position.
Nice work by the Tigers.
And we've seen a great rush by Douglas County's front line and the linebackers on some blitzes all year long.
A little confused on that, on lining up. They switched around
got a
little
man
bit.
Here that nobody's covering, but they opt to go straight downfield. He overthrows the ball. Looks like Javon Kemp Davis got to the quarterback right as he let go of the ball.
And that's what I talked about a little bit earlier, the penetration against Tony. You got to get in Tony Daniels' face. He comes back in the pocket when he has time. He has a nice arm. He can unload that thing. He can unload it 40, 50 yards.
Yep. He just kind of threw it up for grabs that time. Let the wide receiver kind of run under it.
Well, it looked like the play was going to develop or start to develop like they wanted to look like a little screen or a little flare pass to the running back over the left side, but that didn't fake out the Tigers at all.
Yep, it was like we put 2 receivers back for the punt. We put them back about 30 yards, so they saw something about the punter. It's like it's going to take a bounce. Shea Seeley's going to let it go. It's going to roll dead probably around the 36-yard line.
Another nice roll for the Spartans. We haven't really seen a return from the Tigers tonight.
Well, the Douglas County defense did exactly what we asked them to do, which is stop the first drive from South Paulding, get the ball back, and put together a long drive here with Brandon Penniman running the ball, maybe a few screen passes here and there, and it could take the lead here early in the second half.
And that would be critical, and that really puts them in the right frame of mind. You know, coming out in the second half, you know, making a stop on a very strong Spartans passing team. And like you said, they had a pretty good running game in the first half, too. So they mixed it up pretty well. Oh, a little offsides.
Looks like offsides on number 80. That's going to be Alex Baker, the tight end. He's a junior. He's got a little running start there, so he's going to come over and have a discussion with Coach Oglesby.
That's not a discussion I want to have.
No.
I'm sure he doesn't want to have that discussion either.
You know, we talk about Douglas County coming out in the second half, a better team. We talk about maybe what Coach Oglesby says to them, but, you know, you have to think those offensive assistant coaches and defensive assistant coaches, you know, they get a chance to look at some film, look at some plays at halftime and make adjustments. So we really haven't given those guys a lot of credit.
There's that option that plagued them earlier, and it's a fumble, and South Paulding's going to get the recovery. Number 44 on the recovery, that's Trip Durden.
Same play we saw earlier, bad pitch by the quarterback.
Dangerous play, and just horrible to happen at this point in the game. Especially after the stop that they had, a good defensive set of 4 plays against the Spartans earlier. Well, they'll have to go back at it again, Bennett.
Yeah, get your defense back on the field after a big stand. The last offensive plays by South Paulding, you're going to ask them to do it again. Big series here. You don't want to go down 2 possessions against a team like South Paulding.
Absolutely not.
Well, South Paulding comes out in the wishbone, gets an extra blocker, hands it off to number 6. Looks like that's going to be Isaiah Jones.
And he's their leading rusher, and he picks up the average of 5, and that's what it looked like. He's got about 5 yards on that play.
So we saw the wishbone from Douglas County last week. Now South Paulding has broken out the wishbone against them. So we'll see if they can adjust.
Well, you can expect a pass on one of the downs in this series. It's not going to be now, but
it's like 2nd and 6 for South Paulding. They're still going to stay in the wishbone formation. Tony Daniel under center. Like he's going to run the option play. He's going to do a late pitch to number 6. He gets it. He's going to pick up a first down. Looks like they're going to bring him down about the 14-yard line.
And there you go with Isaiah Jones, and quite a nice run on that. A little over 10 yards for him. And that's the way that the pitch should have worked for the DC Tigers.
Yep. It's like number 6, Brandon Bostic, junior defensive end for Douglas County, is going to go in.
They're really having trouble with this balanced team.
Looks like Brandon's going to line up at nose guard. So 1st and 10 for South Paulding. We'll hand it off again to number 6, Isaiah Jones.
Spone's working for him, so they're just going to pound it all the way down to the goal line. And they're working that right side of the field. Even though it's the short side of the field, they're working the right side.
Picked up 5 yards, going to bring up 2nd and 5. Looks like Robert Hale, number 23, is checking back in. Looks like Douglas County's trying to put some fresh guys in there. Try to stop this South Paulding threat.
2nd and 5. Off to the left side this time, and a big stop for the Tigers. A couple of players coming up. Antonio Glover coming up off the pile, number 21. That's Trevin Riggins on the tackle. And Jake LaPointe as well.
A big 3rd and 5 here for South Paulding.
Very big. Are they going to go to a pass? They're setting up in the wishbone again, so...
Yep. Better watch this number 16 on the left side.
Number 6.
Number 16, that wishbone will suck you in. Quarterback fakes to everybody and throws it into the end zone to the tight end on the left side. Nope,
right
straight
up
up the middle. Oh, and they had him at the line of scrimmage. I think he's going to be short.
But it's going to be close,
It's going to be close.
That's looked like Torrey Williams, number 32.
Yeah, 1st down, South Paulding.
They just pounded it up the middle.
Yeah, but Douglas County had penetration, stopped him at the line of scrimmage, but then he just got loose and picked up the 1st down. Looks like it's going to be 1st and goal for South Paulding. Looks like they're going to spot the ball about the 4-yard line. Tony Daniel under center. Hands it off to number 6, Isaiah Jones. It's like he's going to get down probably to about the 1-yard line.
Number 25, LaCurtis Campbell in on tackle on that, along with a couple other DC Tiger players.
Just a heavy dose of the running game here on this first drive by South Paulding.
We're not seeing any passing at all. But if it's working out of the wishbone and you can pound it up the middle, off the right side, mix it up a little bit on the left side, you've got yourself a nice formula for a running game, but you also have the formula for the passing game on the next series. You're going to see one of those big, long passes. There's a fumble.
Tony Daniel.
He is creamed.
It's like the snap was bobbled. Going to push South Paulding back to about the 4-yard line.
You sure? Was there an inadvertent whistle? I'm just checking, Bennett.
I don't know. I'm still confused about that inadvertent whistle call in the first half.
Well, that's the points. That's the spread between the two teams. Between, the Spartans leading right now and not leading.
Yep.
That was a big call in the first half. Or a big no call.
Yeah. So it backs him up. This is going to be a big play. There's the fake, and he overthrows him. Kind of threw it out of the end zone. Tony Daniel faked it to everybody. We talked about that tight end coming all the way across the field to the left side. It's going to be 4th and goal.
Well, you have Brandon Bostic really penetrating and putting pressure on Tony Daniel. Bostic came from his defensive end position, crashed it a little bit, and pushed Tony out of the pocket. They're going to have to go for a field goal now.
Yep, looks like a left-footed kicker for South Paulding, so Tony Daniel is going to hold the ball for him.
This only brings it to a 7-point lead if he gets it. And there's the blocked punt. And the ball's still loose. Who comes up with it? Referee saying it was down.
Well, I don't think it was Antonio Glover that time, but I think he came right up the middle.
Wow.
I don't know who exactly it was that blocked the punt.
That was a huge defensive series for the Tigers. They needed to do that.
Oh, huge play. They could have went down a 2-possession game.
There's Jake LaPointe coming off the field, and he looked like he worked that series of plays. He looks tired and relieved.
So big block field goal for Douglas County here early in the second half.
Boy, did they come through on that series of plays. They knew that they had to stop the Spartans on that play.
Well, now Douglas County is going to go to the wishbone. We saw this against Lithia Springs last week.
Oh, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, Bennett.
It's like Brandon Pettiman. It's going to pick up a couple of yards.
I don't think you're going to see many option plays.
No, I don't think you're going to see Devin Randall come out to the right side and pitch the ball to Brandon here in this series of downs.
I don't think that's going to happen. Well, maybe they should do it because the Spartans aren't going to expect something like that. They put number 19 in motion. I didn't like the way that ball went up.
Yeah, that was an offense that I talked to a coach about this week. They line up in the wishbone. They break out of the wishbone with the 2 running backs going to either side and wing backs, leaving 1 running back. Just kind of faked it, gave it to the guy up the middle, and that play just didn't work. But you can see Douglas County's going to try everything they have tonight to try to get this victory.
They are. They're pulling some plays out of the books that we haven't seen all season long. You stick with your bread and butter. When you've got a great running back like Brandon Penniman and you've got, Barker in front blocking, you got Biscuit up front on center, and you've got an offensive line that the average weight is 260 pounds.
Right. You got to be careful here. Devin Randall loose. He's coming around. He breaks a tackle.
Nice.
He's going to go out of bounds about the 26-yard line.
Nice run, and I'm glad he opted not to option.
that was that play that we were talking about that we didn't think we would see, but I guess that's why we're up in the booth and Coach Oglesby's down on the field. But he did keep the ball that time.
He did, and the Spartans were probably waiting for him to pitch it,
right.
So it slowed them down.
Yeah, keying on Brandon Pettiman and opened it up for Devin Randall to pick up a first down, and instead of Douglas County having to punt from out of their own end zone, they got the ball 1st and 10 on the 25-yard line.
And they're moving the ball.
And this is what we've seen week in and week out from Douglas County. That offensive line just kind of wears you down in the second half. The running game opens up. Brandon Penniman breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage.
2, breaks 3.
Just can't get loose. Going to be about a 5-yard loss.
He was down. It looked like the ball jumped out. It was down. Refs are saying it's down.
Yeah, they're holding up their hand for 2nd down. So it's going to be Douglas County ball.
It'll be a second and about, 15, 16? He lost about 6 yards.
Yep, lost 5 yards. 2nd and 15 here for Douglas County. They haven't gone back to that screen pass to Shea Seeley, which they had a lot of success.
They might pull that out of the closet.
They're sticking with the wishbone.
They might not bring that out of the closet.
Well, they're going to fake it. Nobody's open. He's going to try to throw it down the field.
Antonio Owens just didn't have the hands for it, and the pass was great. It was fantastic, and he knows it. Don't beat yourself up, kid. It's only one play.
Yeah, he was about 5 yards from a first down. But he got possession of the ball. Could have probably picked it up. It's going to bring a very crucial, bring up a 3rd and 15 for Douglas County.
Well, he had it in the bread basket, man, and he just hit the pads and it started bobbling it. He could see a little bit of space. You could tell he wanted to run.
It's like Devin Randall's going to go in the shotgun formation. He's got Shea Seeley.
3rd and 15.
Yeah, Shea Seeley across the middle.
Wide
He's got
open.
Got the first down.
He's got
some
wide
speed.
open field.
He's to the 40-yard line, breaks the tackle.
Beautiful run.
Looks like he's going to break another one all the way down to the 25-yard line.
Outstanding.
Shea Seeley.
And that's the spark that the Tigers need in the second half.
We talked about him being a playmaker, that the offensive coaches really wanted to do everything they could to get it in his hands here tonight. That was just a little slant pass. He got the ball about 20 yards from the quarterback, picked up about 30 yards downfield, broke about 7 tackles. Big play for Douglas County.
And the thing with Shea is that he is so conscious about where he is on the field. He's a smart player. He knew exactly what he was facing when he was out there against the defenders, which way to go.
Yep.
I mean, he just, what a spectacular
As he was
run.
making his cuts, he was swapping the ball to different sides so that prevent the fumble. So great heads-up play, smart player. It's like a broken play. Devin Randall's going to scramble over to the right side. It's like he's going to pick up about 2 yards.
Getting some running time tonight. I think he'd rather have Brandon Penniman running.
And Devin comes up limping.
He hit the turf pretty hard on that play. He'll get back in there though. He'll get a play, come over to the sideline and go back in. Well, they need to do something with this series of play, especially after the spectacular catch and run by Seeley. I mean, that was just incredible.
Yep.
Beautiful play. Nice catch by
Antonio Glover.
He came up like a pro on that one.
Yep. Devin Randall threw that ball in a little bit of traffic, but Antonio Glover with his size, I think he's 6'2", 6'3", just was able to jump up, catch the ball. And that's going to be another first down for Douglas County.
Well, that's a heads-up play by Glover. He just posted himself, just turned at the right time.
Yep.
And popped up for the ball. Went to the ball.
And Coach Oglesby, Devin Randall had came over. It looked like he had hurt his leg a little bit, was dinged up. Goes back in. Coach Oglesby calls a play where he has to throw the ball downfield. Gutsy call. First down, Douglas County. Continue the drive.
Well, it looked like he planted himself quite nicely on that back foot, too, so he got a good throw off. Nice and high. Antonio Glover's a tall kid, so he put it up there where the defender couldn't get it. That was a smart play.
Well, the third quarter's almost gone. 1 minute and 10 seconds to go.
It's been a nice, exciting one, too.
Yeah, it has. Douglas County kind of shot themselves in the foot, gave the ball back to South Paulding, but now they've taken it from about the 5-yard line, I think, where they started, driven the ball all the way downfield with some really nice pass plays, long pass plays, and we haven't seen that all year. Giving it to Brandon Pettiman to kind of keep them off balance. So this is a good-looking drive for Douglas County.
I think the Spartans offense sitting out on this series of plays, just kind of looking in on it, thinking, man, we got it down to the 5-yard line and didn't score. It's got to affect them mentally.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's where Douglas County wants to keep that South Paulding offense is on the sidelines.
Absolutely. They're dangerous. They can come back out. They could do a big play like that.
Yep.
A similar pass that, that Devin did to Shea Seeley.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Joseph Barker's in at the fullback. We're back in the I formation with Devin Randall under the center. He's just going to hand off to Brandon Pettiman. He's met at the line. He's going to pick up about 3 yards on first down.
They haven't had that much luck on the right side, so you would expect that they're going to put Pettiman over to the left side of the field where it's been a little bit weaker for the Spartans.
Well, you never know what adjustment South Paulding's defensive coaches made at halftime. They may have switched some defensive linemen to the other side. You never know, but Brandon Pettiman's pretty good on either side.
I'd run him just about anywhere on the field.
Here's that little screen pass to Shea Seeley. He breaks the first tackle all the way down to about the 8-yard line.
Maybe pick up about 3-4 yards on that.
Yeah. That's the fourth time we've ran that play tonight, so certainly we've seen some success from it.
Well, it's going to be crucial to actually get a touchdown on this drive. This is a long drive starting on the 5-yard line, and to come away with just a field goal, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, it looks like Douglas County's going to call a timeout. First one here in the second half. And it's 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 6 for Douglas County. Last week at Lithia Springs there at the end of the ball game, it was 4th and 3. And they could have kicked the field goal to tie the game, but they went for it. And Brandon Pettiman went off the right side and scored the touchdown. So
paid off, yeah.
So maybe we're in 2-down territory here for Douglas County. Maybe what Coach Oglesby is telling them, look, if we pick up 2 or 3 yards, we're definitely going to go for it on 4th down. We're not going to go for the field goal.
Well, apparently they didn't take a timeout because I still see 3 timeouts up on the board for the Tigers, and the clock's run out, so we're in the 4th quarter now.
Yeah, so they just let the ball run down.
Uh-huh.
Smart play by Coach Oglesby.
Shea Seeley waving to the crowd,
he's got the 4th quarter hands up. Yeah. All the Douglas County players do. Be the last regular season home game for the seniors here tonight. Of course, if they get 1st or 2nd in the region, they'll host the first round of the region playoffs.
If you'd like to see tonight's game, City TV Sports airs on Comcast Digital 22, Tributary 98, Tuesday at 9 p.m., Wednesday at 4:30 p.m., Thursday at 4 and 8 p.m., again on Saturday 12:30 and 6:30 p.m. Or if you like it online, we've got it there too, City TV Sports at mycitytv.com. That's mycitytv.com.
Looks like Devin Randall's okay, but I do see Jake LaPointe down on the sidelines. Looks like he's got maybe a cut on his chin. Probably took a shot. Might have been on that blocked field goal.
Well, that was a rough series for them, and they really played hard on that. And he came off the field looking pretty tired. There's that option, and it works this time, but Brandon just couldn't get around that left end.
Yep. That option play to the left side, Devin Randall pitched at that time, and it was a good pitch to Brandon Pettiman, but it just failed to gain. It's going to bring up 4th and about 5.
So what do you do if you're coach? You're going to send out your kicking team, or are you going to take a shot at it?
I think you go for it here, even if you don't make it.
Right.
You know, your defense is going to take over on about the 5-yard line.
So here we go.
But this is tough, 4th and 5.
It really is. Now you can think that the Spartans are going to be looking for pass, and they're setting up like it's going to be, and it is. Tried to weave it in there. It's intercepted right at the goal line.
Yep, looks like number 4.
Justin Floyd.
Justin Floyd intercepts the pass, just a little slant pass trying to get it to Shea Seeley.
Devin tried to squeeze it in there. It really was a poor choice, but he thought he could do it. And what looked like a tremendous drive down the field from the Spartan 5-yard line just didn't pan out. Panned out with no points.
Well, it's still a one-possession game, which we want to keep it here in the 4th quarter. South Paulding, they do have the ball about the 4-yard line, so it's not like they have good field position.
Yeah, but the key is going to be, can they contain Tony Daniels' arm and the receivers? And they've had some problems with the long ball tonight.
Yeah, and I'd be real careful here. Tony Daniel would love to fake it and go downfield here.
But they're not going to do that.
No, they're going to stick with the running game.
Nice. Number 44 on the tackle. He was right up in the grill.
Yeah.
Malik Walker.
Yep, that's a nose guard for Douglas County. Great play. Looks like it's going to pick up about a yard. It's going to bring up 2nd and 9 for South Paulding. Douglas County defense has to be careful right here. Tony Randall can fake it.
He can.
Have that wide receiver wide open down the left side.
Connor Van, number 24, goes wide right. They're going to keep it on the ground. There's number 6 over the right side. Did he get a first down?
I don't think he got the first down. It's going to be close. Just a sweep to the right side. A big hole. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
They went over to Brandon Bostic's side. Brandon came up a little late.
Yeah, and here we go again. Early in the 4th quarter. If they can hold them here, we've seen their punter. Not like he's been booming punts all night, about a 30-yard punt, probably his average. He's got some good rolls, unfortunately. But a big play here. I wouldn't be surprised if they go to the air here.
I don't think they will. I think it's 3rd and 3. I think they've had some success on off tackle with number 6, Isaiah Jones. He averages about 5 yards a carry. I'd give it to him.
It's like Tony Daniels.
Blitz.
Yep, Tony Daniels audibly at the line. Like he's going to run the option. And he picks up the first down. Little
Number
quarterback
5,
keeper.
Shea Seeley on the tackle. I don't want to say this, that you don't want to see Shea Seeley in on a tackle, but you know where he's playing on the field. And for him to make the tackle, that scares me.
Yeah. He is the last resort for defense. We had to start looking at the clock here in the 4th quarter.
Well, you got 9 minutes left. There's plenty of time to play, but you have to stop them. And you have to get the ball back.
Yep. Antonio Glover, one-on-one on the right side.
There you go. There's a fumble.
There's a fumble, Douglas County.
There's a recovery by Douglas County. First down. Woo! Who gets the recovery on that? Was it number 44? You bet. Hello, Malik Walker. Good series of play for Malik.
I think if I was both coaches, I would shut down that option play here in the 4th quarter.
Oh, yeah.
I think we've had 3 or 4 fumbles at least on option plays just by the quarterback being in traffic and trying to pitch the ball to the running back. But that's a huge play. Douglas County gets the ball back. Looks like a first and go. They can't pick up a first down.
Off tackle to the left, off tackle to the left, and off tackle to the left.
That was a gift. I mean, that's a gift by South Paulding.
There you go. There's your off tackle to the
Brandon
left.
Penniman following a blocker.
Nice. He'll gain about 3 or 4 yards on that, maybe 3.5. Strong run.
Looks like he gets close to the 5-yard line. It's going to be second and goal. Oh, he's a little closer than that. It's going to be about 2nd and 4 from the 4-yard line. Be very surprised if anybody touches it here except Brandon Penniman.
I agree wholeheartedly. I think you go to your money. Oh,
a little mix up
bad
in the
hand up. Bad handoff. Yeah, it just looked like Devin got his wires crossed on that, and so did Brandon. Brandon was going off the left side. It looked like it was supposed to be a fake, almost like a crossbuck.
Yep, crossbuck play that we had success against Lithia Springs, and they just got caught up in the backfield. Going to push them back to the 7-yard line. Going to bring up a 3rd and 7 for Douglas County. And you got to think with 8 minutes to go, it's 2-down territory.
Got to get it. Now, you don't want to give South Paulding the ball here.
It's like 7:33 to go in the game.
I formation.
Yep, they're going to throw the ball.
Back for a pass.
Throws it in traffic.
Almost intercepted.
It's like it was intended for number 88. That's DJ Fluden once again.
Number 4, Justin Floyd, breaks it up in the end zone. That ball was a little high anyway, and, Fluden is going toward outside of the end zone.
Yep. Looks like Juan Serta is going to come in to try a field goal.
This is going to be disappointing for the Tigers here, even with a field goal, leaving with a field goal, especially after great defensive play and a fumble that was recovered, and 4 downs inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, first and go from the 9-yard line.
There you go.
It's good.
That thing looked like it could have gone to another county.
Yeah. All right, so we draw within a point of South Paulding. Not exactly what we wanted there, but we'll take it.
It's a 1-point game. It's a 1-possession game. But if you can hold these guys and, clock ticks down, and you can get Juan Serna out there and make them down to a field goal.
Yeah, he's got a strong leg.
He missed one earlier, so, had he gotten that, Tigers would be in the lead.
Right.
Of course, there were a couple of plays here, the controversial play where it was a no call, and the Spartans ended up getting the touchdown to put them in the lead, 14-10.
Looks like Juan Serna is going to kick it off for Douglas County.
Notice that the Spartans have been pretty conservative this second half.
They haven't had the ball a lot.
They haven't had the ball a lot, but every time they get the ball, they're not really setting up for the pass plays, and that's a strength of theirs. Number 35 on the tackle. That's Keith Radford locking him up. Austin Graham carried the ball, and Keith Radford just decided, hey man, you know what lobster claws feel like? Here you go, brother.
So it looks like Paulding County is going to set up shop here about the 28-yard line. Go back to the I formation.
Man, I don't like the way he holds that ball out there.
Isaiah Jones, our leading rusher. Looks like he gets the ball. It's going to gain about 3 yards. Going to bring up a 2nd and 7 for Paulding County.
I'll tell you, if I see Tony Daniel hold that ball out there one more time, I think Antonio Glover's going to go in there and snatch it and run it the other way.
Well, I think it's that 6'5" frame, those arms, that we're not accustomed to seeing, as long as arms as he has.
This looks like it's set up to be a pass play, even though they're going into the I formation.
They stick with the run. Shea Seeley's going to have to bring him down.
He's a tough character.
Yeah. And I think Tony Daniel has only passed the ball less than 5 times tonight. I mean,
for some big yardage on there, but
yeah.
You're right.
Very surprising.
Makes it 3rd and maybe 3.
Yeah. Big play here. Clock's winding down. We can't afford to let South Paulding run the clock down and continue to get first down. So the Douglas County defense is going to have to make a big play here.
3rd and a long 2.
It's like they're going back to the wishbone. Douglas County's defense have 11 guys in the box. They give it to number 35.
And I think they stopped him.
No, he's about to the 42-yard line for first down.
Oh, he squeezed through.
Yep.
Wow.
Good running play. That's David Way.
Oh, that was Spartan smash mouth, just right up off the left tackle, right up the middle, off the left tackle.
Yeah, the clock winds down to under 5 minutes. Douglas County's defense is going to be asked to make a stop here pretty soon to get the ball back. You just have to watch for that long pass. They've been running the ball. Yeah, they're going to continue to run it.
Well, if you're a coach and you're up, 14-13, and you're having some success getting 4 or 5 yards, running the ball and running the clock down.
Hard to throw it.
It is hard to throw it. He's going to have to get 1 or 2 big plays, though.
Yeah.
It's just that looming thing in the back of your mind. It's like, when are they going to throw it? I know they're going to let it loose.
Well, you don't want a turnover, but the way they've been running the ball, they've only thrown the ball about 5 times. I'm telling you, somebody's going to be wide open, unfortunately.
Here we go. Anthony Jones, wide right.
No, they're going to
run it.
Sweep it with number 6. Shea Seeley comes up.
Oh, and there's a penalty.
Oh, there's a flag. Look, that's going to be a hold against South Paulding.
Got to be.
Yep. It's either number 1. That's Matt Ayers. I think they're going to get him for holding the receiver here. Don't know if that's going to be from the spot. I think it is from the spot, 10 yards from the spot.
Well, I don't like it when the refs are actually pointing toward the Tigers.
No, they're pointing toward the spot of the ball.
Okay.
Which I wouldn't doubt that they call it against Douglas County, but I think they're going to probably mark it off from the spot of the ball.
Oh, that's a pretty generous spot.
And I don't think he got that far.
No, he didn't get that far.
I mean, they're giving him all the way to the 50-yard line.
Are you kidding me? That's a generous spot.
Yeah.
Still set it up with what? 2nd and 12, 3rd and 12, what is it?
Yeah.
Second and 11. All right, number 1, Matt Ayers comes out. Number 15, that's Anthony Jones, wide to the left.
Yeah, Shea Seeley kind of goes over to the right side to kind of give those guys a little help, anticipating a pass. He fakes it. He's going to try to sweep it around the right side. Looks like he's going to be knocked out of bounds. Oh, my goodness. This is going to be a personal foul, late hit on Douglas County.
He wasn't out of bounds, though. It looked like he was right on the sideline. He could have got another 3 or 4 yards. He had to do something to tackle him. That's going to be a personal foul, and it is against the Tigers.
Yep.
That's a tough call against the Tigers at this point in the game with about 4 minutes left.
Yep. Tony Daniels just kind of faked everybody to the left side, rolled himself to the right side, just was trying to run out of bounds about the 47-yard lines, and the defender for Douglas County just couldn't put on the brakes.
Well, when you're a defensive end, and nothing against Brandon Bostic's played a very good game. You can't be sucked in by that. You got to box that end. You have to box it, because that's exactly what will happen to you if you don't play your position. Because let's face it, if you're a defensive end, you're not going to tackle it if it's a sweep to the left-hand side. If you're, you got to rely on your other guys to go after that.
Sure.
That's a big, big penalty. Big penalty.
Yep, under 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. South Paulding's about 2 first downs away from pulling an upset here on the road.
And they'll keep it on the ground.
Yep.
They're just going to wear this clock down.
Yep.
Still 3 timeouts for the Tigers, and they're going to have to use them wisely. That could have been a big defensive stop.
Yep. Of course, the South Paulding offense, this is the best way to keep Brandon Penniman off the field.
Oh, he's just resting up for when he gets a chance to play on offense.
I don't know how many minutes he's going to have when he gets the chance, but Douglas County defense is going to have to come up with a stop here.
Well, the clock certainly is not the Tigers' friend. We can just about guarantee it's going to be run, run, run.
I agree. Got an I formation. Tony Daniel just hands off to Isaiah Jones.
But you can't let him
Gets
do
in the
that.
open field. Picks up about 6 yards. It's going to bring up about a 3rd and short for South Paulding. About 3rd and 2.
They needed to keep it at about a 3rd and 5.
This is probably 2-down territory for South Paulding. They've had success with the running game all night long.
Still haven't taken any of the timeouts, Douglas County. 2 minutes and 35 seconds left in the game. They've got all 3 timeouts left.
Douglas County's going to have to get a stop here on 3rd and 3. Straight handoff to number 12, and it's going to be really close.
It'll be a first down. They need to take a timeout.
I think they'll probably measure here.
Yep. It's going to be close.
Official timeout for a measurement. But you got to think South Paulding, 4th and inches, will go for it with the success they've had in the running game here in the fourth quarter.
And if they get this first down, they can run down the clock. It's 2 minutes and 10 seconds left.
Yeah, Douglas County will have the opportunity to stop them by calling their 3 timeouts, but another first down after this one, if this is a first down for South Paulding, and it's going to be game over.
First down.
First down.
That's a big first down.
Yeah, so Coach Oglesby will be forced to call his timeouts after this play, 2nd down and 3rd down, until he uses them up, just to try to get the ball back.
Yep. Well, that was a big penalty call. When Tony Daniel came to the sideline and he was pushed out of bounds, and they called it as a late hit. That really gave them momentum in the last 3 minutes of this game.
They're going to stay with the running game. Number 6
He's
gets
going to
loose.
get a touchdown.
We're going to bring him down about the 2-yard line.
It almost would have been better just to let him go through. Get the ball back.
Well, you can go to 2. Let's think about that.
That's right.
Leave a little time on the clock.
Think about that. With the success that the Tigers have had blocking the extra point,
Right.
if you only get 6 points, Spartans are up 20-13.
Yeah, that's good.
That's what I'm talking
Great
about.
point.
That's what I'm talking about. Why waste any more time? So you got your 3 timeouts. It's 1:30 left, and they're taking forever in the huddle.
Yeah, the clock's running. So we're going to get down below a minute here, and
I
think at this point I agree with you.
Let
them
him go.
score. That's your only chance. Get the ball back.
It is.
Try to go for 2. Try to block the extra point.
Yep.
I agree. Little quarterback sneak.
You'll have to take a timeout.
Yeah, no, he's scored.
It's good. That's what we want.
I think that's the only option we had. I think you're right. Absolutely.
Hey, even if they put up 7 points, now you're at 21. 21-13. You can tie the game.
Yep.
2-point conversion. Let's go, Bennett. This is going to be a good game.
Well, a blocked field goal here would certainly.
Yeah.
It's like they put Antonio Glover
yeah.
on the left side this time.
Well, you got a left-footed kicker.
Well, he
But
puts
it
it
gets
through.
All right, well, you've got to go for the 2-point conversion if you get down there to tie the game.
Well, we got 1:16 to go.
And two timeouts left.
Yeah, we saw South Paulding's kicker. He didn't kick it deep the first time, or the last couple of times he's kicked. So
actually, there are 3 timeouts left.
Yeah. Yeah, we never had to call one because they were measuring to see if it was a first down earlier. So, yeah, so Douglas County's got 3 timeouts. We're not giving up yet.
And neither are the Tigers. They're stoked. They're ready. Shay's saying a little prayer on the field.
Yep.
He's ready to go. He wants the ball.
I think South Paulding has to kick it deep here. I mean, you can't pooch kick it or try an onside kick or anything like that. You got to pin them as deep as you can.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That'd be the smart move. I don't know if this kicker's strong enough to do that.
Well, he did kick one in the end zone earlier. Remember when Shay kind of stepped back in the end zone and got it at the 20-yard line? So.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one.
Yep. I did too.
Big game. 4-3 Tigers against the 3-3 Spartans of South Paulding. A 21-13 game with 1:16 left. 8-point deficit.
Yeah, left-footed kicker for South Paulding. And he kicks it pretty high. It's not going to be in the end zone.
Shay's going to like taking this one.
Oh, and he gets
smashed
hit right in the ribs.
Number 35.
About the 20-yard line, and that had to hurt.
Josh Anderson with the tackle. And a good one.
Douglas County's off next week, and then they play Paulding County the last game of the season. South Paulding has 2 games left, so they'll play both weeks. So we never know what's going to happen, even if Douglas County loses.
Sure.
More than likely, they're going to get second place in the region. And they might get better than that. South Paulding, you know, they could lose a game down the stretch with 2 games to go.
Well, they're on a 3-game win streak.
Yeah, this will be their 4th game to win, and that'll be the longest in school history, which school hadn't been around that long.
Oh, we got a whistle on the play.
And it's probably going to be illegal procedure on Douglas County. I think one of the wide receivers. Nope, timeout. Timeout by South Paulding.
Didn't like the play, the way it was going to develop. Coach calls a timeout. It's been an interesting game, to say the least, with a couple of interesting calls.
Yeah. One we didn't understand, but was clarified to us. Didn't make it feel any better.
No.
And, you know, this has been really the first game that we were able to pull for Douglas County outright because, of course, every game that we've broadcast here on CDTV, the last 3, was against a county opponent. So we had to stay a little bit neutral.
Sure.
But tonight, certainly against South Paulding, we've held nothing back. Pulled for DC.
No.
Wanted those guys to get that region crown so that they'd be the first seed in the region playoffs. But they got a little work to do here.
Well, and the Spartans have an excellent crowd on hand for an away team.
Yes, sir. On stage.
Taking a lot
South
of
Paulding
time.
came into this game 1-2 on the road, so they hadn't had a lot of success playing on the road. They played a good game tonight.
Excellent game.
Balanced offense.
Yeah.
They gave Douglas County a couple of gifts that they weren't able to take advantage of, especially one down here, 1st and goal from the 9-yard line early in the 4th quarter. They'll definitely look back at that. Little mix-up between the running back and the quarterback on 2nd down. Gave us about a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, to come away with just a field goal on that possession and not get the touchdown. There's a fake. He's going to run it to the sideline, get it.
DJ Fluden that's John Willis. Had a little crackback block on a defender for Paulding County and put the leather to him, as they say. So he goes out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Looks like that's going to pick up probably about 4 yards, bring up a 2nd and 6. But with 1:03, we're going to have to do a little more than quarterback sweep to the left side.
You're going to get the ball, and the guys that got you here, their hands, you got to get it to Brandon Penniman. You've got to get it to Shea Seeley. Timeout.
Official
refs.
Timeout. A little substitution. Think somebody was hurt or maybe an equipment problem.
DeMarcus Hamilton coming in, number 99.
Well, South Paulding's definitely playing back with their defensive backs and their linebackers.
Sure are.
You know, they're looking for the pass, but with Brandon Penniman, a draw play where you get him out of the backfield right up the middle with everybody back covering.
Be a great call.
He can make some moves. So.
Be a great call. You got 1:03 left. You got 3 timeouts. You're not going to waste your time on that. That would be a very good call.
Yep. I don't think the screen pass is going to be here because the linebackers are going to be playing so far back. I don't think they're going to be rushing.
Sure.
They want as many defensive players back as they can to protect for the pass. So.
And yeah, look how far back the linebackers are, and they're waiting for that pass.
That's going to be an incomplete pass.
That's a complete incomplete.
Yeah, that's an incomplete pass.
From the start, he never had it at all.
Yeah, ball hit Antonio Glover right in the hands, but a defender was right on him. So,
Bennett, I think you're right. I think you get the ball to Brandon Penniman. You see how far back those linebackers are. They're waiting for the pass.
Yep.
They're not giving any space at all. With a run, it gives them an opportunity to go right up the middle. They could spread the offense to make it look like that pass, and he'd have a lot of room to run. And he's just itching back there.
Yeah, they're going to stay with the pass. It's like he's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down. We're going to have to go for it here.
Get a timeout
on
going
4th and 2. And Douglas County will call a timeout. I think that's their first one in the second half. I'm not sure.
It is. So you've got 47 seconds left, an 8-point deficit. You're on your own 30-yard line, and not giving the ball to Brandon Penniman.
Well, you may give it to him here. I mean, they picked up a lot more yards than I thought they did there. It's going to be 4th and probably about 6 inches. So before you think about scoring and going for the 2-point conversion, first thing you got to do is get this yard to get a first down and continue the drive.
Well, it comes down to this possession right here. 4th and about 2, 3.
Yeah. You can tell these are the 2 best teams in the south side of the region. Now, on the north side, I did notice you've got Kale and you've got Hiram High. One 7-0 and one 6-0. And I don't know when exactly they play. I know they play at some point. It'd be one of the last 2 games of the season. But you really don't want to be that 3rd or 4th seed on the south side, because you're going to have to face one of those guys. Both teams won't be undefeated because they play each other. But they say that Kale High School is a really good team. And Hiram, of course, they beat Douglas County. You know, they're undefeated too. So, but you can tell here tonight that we've seen the best 2 teams in the south side of the region.
Absolutely.
Yep.
There's a first down that you were talking about.
Yep.
He's got it. They have to call a timeout. And they do.
Well, the clock will stop for them to move the chains.
That's right.
Yep. Now, what they need to do is be ready to snap the ball. If not, you're going to have to call a timeout.
See, I would have used up all the timeouts already. I'm glad I'm not down there. We got to call timeout.
You know, once he puts his hand down, the clock starts. There's only 40 seconds left. It looks like an official timeout. They're going to move the chains. The chain gang was a little slow.
So what are we going to do here? Are you going to give the ball to Brandon, or you're going to go pass?
You got to throw it.
Yep.
Yeah. And much like Lithia Springs last week when they were trying to come back, if the quarterback gets flushed out, you can't let him go down the field and get tackled. because then the clock starts immediately. These have to be incomplete passes, and there you see him just waste a play to stop the clock. So now you've got 3 downs to pick up the first down. But in the big scheme of things, the clock's a little more important.
Yes.
The more plays that you can get to try to get that big play,
right.
Obviously for the touchdown, the better off you are.
Well, they had success where they had DJ Fluin in the end zone on one of the first series of the game. And I haven't seen that play since.
Yep.
Is Coach going to pull that out of his pocket?
Flea flicker. Oh, and he pitched the ball, and he better get on it.
Game's over. That's a Spartan ball, and the game's over.
Yep, South Paulding recovers. They had the flea flicker set up. Looks like a little pushing and shoving going on down on the field.
They didn't need to do that. They could have just taken a first down, and then they could have taken another timeout. But, you know, they had to go with a trick play to try to get the big yards.
And I will say that play was open.
It was open.
If he would have fielded the ball cleanly, which he did, he turned around. If the receiver coming around the left side had caught that ball, he had some yardage.
But not much more. I mean, you know, you almost want to make that. I know it's not designed that way, but you almost want to make that almost like an option play.
Right.
You know, where, you know, the receiver actually catches it, looks down the field. Where, do I have any space here, or do I have to go back with it?
Well, there was definitely a defender right on him.
Yeah.
So South Paulding would just take a knee here and run out the clock.
That's it.
I don't even know if Douglas County will call a timeout.
No, I don't think they will. It'll be a 21-13 ball game and a good game.
It was a good game.
Two tough teams.
Douglas County came out on the losing end, but, you know, there's still hope. These guys have got a lot to be proud of. They won the county. They had an opportunity tonight, and they still have an opportunity later in the year. We never know what's going to happen with South Paulding, but they had an opportunity to be number 1 in the region. So certainly they'll be number 2, I would think,
sure, in
the region, and they'll get to host a playoff game here at Tiger Stadium. So, you know, it's not the end of the season for these guys.
Getting in the playoffs is really that's the big picture. That's where you want to be. You want to be able to get into the playoffs. They go to 4-4. South Paulding Spartans are now 4-3 overall on the season, and hard-fought game, well-balanced team. South Paulding Spartans, South Paulding Spartans with 21 points. And 7 of those were questionable, okay?
Yeah, we can go back to that as much as we want. But
I want to go back to it like every time I talk about it.
You know, they clarified it for us. And,
they did. And
you know,
it made sense.
I didn't hear the whistle, but they said it was an inverting whistle, and it stopped play. It would have been Douglas County's ball in excellent field position. But Douglas County had their chances. South Paulding gave the ball back to them on the 9-yard line. It was 1st and goal early in the 4th quarter. Douglas County just couldn't put it together. So it's not like Douglas County didn't have their chances. I feel the call was questionable, but that wasn't really the determining factor because they did have another chance. They had it 1st and goal from the 9-yard line, and they didn't.
Right.
You know, they didn't make it happen.
They had a couple of chances to win the ball game. They didn't do it. And usually in the second half, this team has done that, and they've risen to the occasion. Unfortunately, tonight they came up on the short end of the ball, but a real good team, like you said. You know, they've won the county. Mm-hmm. They have a lot to be proud of. And they played a very, very tough team tonight.
Yep. You know, Mike, Fred Perry's done an excellent job all year long for City TV. He's the sideline reporter here, and it looks like he's got a Douglas County player down on the sidelines now. So let's go down and see what Fred has for us.
No, it was a long night tonight. Losing effort, lost by 1. I know that had to hurt. You all looked like you were trying pretty hard there at the end. What happened with the game?
Towards the end, number 25, he just had really good coverage. I mean, I couldn't get open at all. And just couldn't execute the flea flicker pitch back pass we wanted to.
It looked like throughout the game, it looked like was kind of communication problems between quarterback and the pitch there. I think it was 2 fumbles on there.
Yes, sir. We just on the flea flicker, we didn't execute. We didn't have that practice as much as we needed to. And
okay. Good luck, well fought. Good luck next game. All right, take care now. Back to you.
They still have an opportunity against Paulding County, which I think they were 0-6 the last time I checked, but they'll have an opportunity to end up with a winning season and the county championship. So these guys have a lot to be proud of. It's senior night once again here at Tiger Stadium, and we've talked about it all year long. You know, these seniors have really led the team. They've got stronger as the season has progressed. I think tonight we saw the number one team in Region 5 in South Paulding.
Fred Perry's out on the field. He's got number 10, Devin Randall, and number 53, Darius Anderson. Let's see what they have to say.
Devin Hoff, our game tonight, losing effort. What happened out there tonight?
We play hard. They play hard. It's a good team. Region on the line, 2 good teams, and they just got us tonight.
Okay.
But we'll bounce back from this one. I just like to give credit to my O-line first, my backs around me, my coaches, everybody, the whole team.
Okay. It looked like it was some communication problems there on the pitch. It looked like the pitch, you fumbled that, I think it was twice. What was going on there?
I get ready to make a move upfield, and me and Brandon Penman are on the same page, and I pitch it out to him, and he thinking block, and I'm thinking pitch to him, so we fumbled the ball. Okay. We'll get it correct next week.
I know you will. Good luck, young man. Take care. All right. Back to you.
And, you know, it was a good game. It wasn't a blowout.
No.
I mean, Douglas County had their chances.
No.
Either team could have won this game tonight. It was just a good high school football
close.
game.
It was a very good high school football team, and teams that have respect for each other.
Yep.
And that's what you want to see with the boys out on the field tonight. We appreciate you watching City TV Sports, a hard-fought game. Douglas County Lion Tigers coming down the short end of the stick, 21-13 tonight. And the Spartans were just a little bit too much for them tonight.
Very good game tonight. I think we saw the best 2 teams in the South region of Region 5. Douglas County had their chances. They just weren't able to come out with a victory here. I noticed, Fred, you had Devin Randall down on the field for an interview after the game. What did he have to say?
I did. I talked to Devin specifically about the 2 pitches that he and Penniman kind of fumbled off there. He said they weren't on one accord. He said he turned upfield. Penniman was thinking block. He was thinking pitch. There's a miscue there. Douglas County loses tonight.
Tough loss for Douglas County here on senior night, but we do have some dedicated Douglas County Tiger fans behind us. so we look forward to the next broadcast that City TV will have. Next week, Douglas County will be off, and then they'll finish up their season with Paulding County for the end of the year. They're definitely still in the playoffs. They'll probably be the number 2 seed.
Good.
They'll probably get to host a region game here at Tiger Stadium. So not a total loss for the Douglas County team.
Not at all. Tigers are 4-4 on the season now. Spartans go to 4-3. And for all of us here at City TV, I'm Jonathan Monk, for Ben and Oliver, and Fred Perry. Thank you very much, and we appreciate you watching City TV.